How to be yourself. Why do people have such a hard time being themselves? There's a few different reasons. Number one, some of us are way bigger freaks than we lead on. We are the biggest, weirdest, most scatterbrained, creative, slutty people that you probably ever met. And the reason why we don't show the 100% of ourselves is one, because I don't think that a lot of us feel safe enough to. But two, the big one, judgment. But the problem with trying to skirt people's judgment is that all it does is make you judge yourself harsher. It makes you look at yourself and say, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't wear that. Maybe I shouldn't eat this in front of this person. Maybe I shouldn't make that joke. When really, it's just like, it doesn't matter what you do. People will always find a reason to hate on somebody. And let me be the one to tell you the way people be hating on me. And I decided that I'm going to show up here as authentically as possible. I'm not even going to clean. You see it. You see that? Because it don't matter what's in the room. What matters is what I got to say. All right. So the first thing that you need to do to start learning how to be yourself, always have fun. I was watching a very queer program called RuPaul's Drag Race. And I can't remember the queen who said it, but they said that their mom used to tell them, if you're having fun, people will follow, something like that. As someone who actually dances when they go out, as someone who actually like sings when they go to karaoke, as somebody who really tries to have fun in whatever way I can, in public especially, this is a proven fact. Because they be on me. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm fully committed. Okay, I'm clank right here. They be on me when I go out because I'm having fun. Whenever you're having fun in public, whatever that means for you, if it's a type of fun where people can see it, people can see that you're enjoying your time, it gives other people permission to also have fun. I think the best example of this is when you go to a club, a bar, or whatever, and say there's music playing, but nobody's dancing. It doesn't really make you want to dance. Like, even if you like the song, it's kind of hard to get out into the middle of the dance floor by yourself and be just dancing full out. But if there's a few people on the dance floor that are already dancing, it almost like makes it okay for you to go out and dance full out in the middle of this dance floor. Wherever you are at, whatever you are doing, always make sure that you are enjoying your time. Be in spots that you can actually have fun in. Being intentional about the spaces that you occupy also matter. And I think that it also helps you be you because it allows you to experience being yourself and enjoying it. I think that's another part that makes it hard, is like, well, when I am myself, people judge me, or when I am myself, you know, people say this about me. But what if you created more opportunities to be yourself, and you being yourself is fun? You existing how you want to is fun. It's enjoyable for you. Add more spaces like that to the places that you occupy, and make sure that you're being intentional about the spaces that you go to, because life's too short to be a boring ass hoe, wallflower ass hoe. Another good point to enjoying yourself is that there's less time to overthink. You're not thinking at all. You're just enjoying your time. You're just enjoying your space. You're vibrating high. You're feeling the good vibes. You might be feeling the Casamigos, you know, hitting your bloodstream a little bit real hard. Like, there's so much going on that's contributing to you feeling good that it's hard to find something to be mad about when you're just happy, when you're just having fun. Number two, I know it's really hard to not care about what people think. So my advice is to care what you think more. There will always be time and space and opportunity to listen to what a hoe gotta say. You can listen, but maybe do whatever feels right for you before you do something that aligns with what somebody else wants you to do. I think that clothing is the easiest entry point to have this conversation because, you know, Your parents, your family, your friends might have, you know, a certain idea about how you should dress. And those can even come from good places, not necessarily from a place of ridicule or from a place of malice. Like, it could come from them wanting to protect you, wanting you to be safe. And so they may say, hey, tone it down. That was definitely what I grew up in. And the way that I processed that was I need to be quiet, do as I'm told, fly under the radar, don't actually speak my mind, because then I will be acceptable as a person. And that is simply not, this isn't Handmaid's Tale, at least not yet. So we can wear the salmon hoodie, you know what I mean? We can wear the crochet corset. We can wear the flare jeans. We can wear the crop top. And what matters is that you like it more than anything else. I just like to live my life constantly experiencing my own decisions and not someone else's. I can imagine a lot of like brown and black people that follow me. Maybe your parents wanted you to have a certain type of career. And so say you're in school right now, or you went to school to do the thing and it just wasn't it. And you knew it wasn't it the whole time. There's so much in us that is other people, your heroes, your inspo, your family members, the best and worst parts of your friends. Like, so much of what we're made up with is already inherently going to involve things that we've adopted from other people, especially in our childhood growing up. And so when you get to a certain age, you have to start really being intentional about the life that you are living. And only when I started to really walk and talk and dress, you know, how I wanted to, was when opportunities that actually meant something to me started opening up. When I started meeting people that actually meant something to me started happening. When I had friendships that actually like meant something to me happen. You're only going to attract those things that are for you if you are for you, if you are living for you. Just please remember not to live your life according to what a stranger gotta say, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not gonna be at your funeral. You're not even going to be at your funeral. So it's like, at that point, you might as well do what you want. You know what I mean? The third tip is to know who you are. And I mean, really know who you are. The good parts, the bad parts, the parts you don't like to talk about, the parts that you're ashamed of, like all of that, bring it to the front, bruh. Bring it to the front. Rosa, bring it to the front. I find that the best way to do this, to practice this, is to just call it out. Just say what it is. If you're scrolling and you see someone that you hate watch or that you hate follow, like, stop and look at a picture of theirs and ask yourself why. Why do I hate watch this person? What is it about watching this stuff or hating on this person's stuff that makes me feel good? Do I think that they're prettier than me? Do I think that they're more in shape than I am? Do I think that they make more money than me? Like, why do I have a feeling over something I shouldn't have a feeling on? I would examine that shit and just bring it to the front. I also like willfully drag myself. I don't think that's good advice, but I do it and I think it helps. Like, emotions like jealousy or envy or competition. Like, if you feel things like that in rooms, you have to know there's something going on, bruh. There's something going on there. You have to be comfortable with who you are. And you're only going to be comfortable with who you are if you're comfortable with all of you. I'm not necessarily saying that you need to be proud of the things that are not great about you. I just think that you have to acknowledge them. You have to acknowledge that it is a piece of you that you operate and that functions on an everyday basis. The more you call it out, the more normal it becomes, the less judgment you have in it, and the more comfortable you can just exist knowing all of these things about yourself. I think there's something really comforting about having that amount of awareness about yourself. And the last tip, which is really the most important, I think anyway, don't force it. Don't feel like you need to walk into every room and say, I am that bitch, and nary a bitch shall compete with me. Like, that's like, okay, Jennifer Lewis, like, relax. You don't have to do all that much when you meet new people. You don't have to get people to like you. As a Leo, this is something that I struggled with in the past, but you know, it's a journey. Shout out to Tisha. Allowing yourself to naturally attract people who would just naturally be attracted to you platonic or romantic, it validates the experience of being yourself. To be able to say, well, I made this friend, I got this job, I was able to open this door up for myself, completely being me, there's power in that. And I think that once you relinquish the need to be liked, or you relinquish the need to really define who you are to somebody right off the bat, and just allowing them to get to know you, or allowing them to just see you for that 10 minutes and then never see you again. Like, I think that that's okay. I feel like a lot of the self-help, confidence building content that's out there is very like action forward. And I feel like really confidence, self-worth, any of these things, being yourself, all of that is fully inside of you, girl. That's what she said. Because you can do a bunch of things that you don't actually feel, but you can't change the way that you feel about things. You can't change the way that you feel about yourself. I understand like the fake it till you make it strategy, and I'm not even mad at the fake it till you make it strategy. But I do think that once you start acting in ways that match up with how you feel about yourself, I think that's when you step into your power. So when I say you don't have to force it, not everybody's gonna get it. Don't expect to follow these tips and expect, you know, everybody in the office to want to be your friend, or every single one of your neighbors wanted to come over and hang out for hookah and card games. Like, I think being yourself is intentional, but I don't think it's, you don't have to prove anything, you know? Like, you don't have to prove to anybody anything. You don't have to prove, similar to confidence. Like, you don't have to prove to people that you're confident. You either are or you're not. And I think that whenever there's that pressure to like show it or to perform it or to, you know, to force it, there's this, I think that comes from the wrong place. I think that's coming from a place of like wanting validation, and all of what I'm talking about has nothing to do with that. All right, y'all, those are the 4 tips on how to truly be yourself. I just have heard, Jade, you've just always been you, which sounds like a read. I'm choosing to see it as a compliment. Like, I'm choosing to see that as like, you know, I think there's a reason why, like, if you've just met people and they're just unlike anyone that you've met before, or they just have a unique kind of presence about themselves, I feel like those people have done the work in figuring out who they are and staying true to it, and not necessarily feeling like they need to prove themselves or they need to edit themselves in order to be agreeable. Those are the real heroes. Them and anyone who works at Wingstop. Happy 2023. I don't know when this video is gonna go up because I'm a little depressed right now, and shit's looking real take a nap. It's looking real take a nap-ish. I hope that whenever it does, it impacts you in the way that you need. Stay tuned, bruh, and I'll see y'all soon in another one. Bye.
How come you don't want
trucker hats, t-shirts, and sweatshirts? hillfoxclub.com. All of my content is sponsored by my patrons, so thank you to my patrons for supporting my content. If you want to be down with the crew, it's only $5, but if you want the vlogs too, that's $10. So hit me with the 10, come through, and be part of the family.